In modern society, there are many negative stereotypes associated with cheerleaders. Some of these stereotypes include cheerleaders do not work hard, cheerleaders are not smart, cheerleaders are not athletes, and cheerleaders are stuck up or view themselves above others. I'm Tyler Tribble, and I've set out to study this culture in order to collect data that disproves these very stereotypes. For this study, I chose to conduct observations over the Ball State University cheer team. My goal in personally observing this culture was to learn what it is like to be a part of this culture and gain information that would support the disapproval of negative stereotypes placed on cheerleaders everywhere. My observation began in the Ball State University gymnastics room where the team holds many of their practices. The room is designed as an ideal location for this team due to its spring floors, high ceilings, tumble tracks, and chalk stands. The team begins their practice by stretching. Before stretching, the men on the team tape their wrists to allow grip for their flyer during this time, and to provide extra support to their wrist. Once the guys have finished taping, they join in stretching. After they have finished stretching, the team begins to work on their partner stunts. A partner stunt is a stunt in which there is one base, the boy, who throws his flyer into the air and catches her by the bottom of her feet, thus performing the stunt. After the team works on their partner stunts, improving skills that they already have and making progression with new skills, the team is called together by Coach Wendy Richards to begin working on pyramid stunts. A pyramid is a stunt that stands 3 layers high into the air. This is performed by having 2 boys on the ground, with a flyer, called a mid layer, on each of their shoulders. The 2 boys stand shoulder to shoulder, while another group of boys throw a flyer up to the mid layers, who catch her and hold her above them, finishing the pyramid. During my time spent observing, I witnessed many of the team's practices and had watched them perform along the side of a university basketball game. As my observations continued, I knew that if I was going to further my understanding of this team, I would have to conduct more in-depth research. For this point in my study, I began to organize interviews with the members of the cheer team.
I wanted to cheer in college because my passion for it hadn't ended yet. I know for most it does when you graduate high school and move on to college because it was just all fun and games in high school. But for me, it wasn't that at all. I loved cheerleading and I didn't want to stop it just yet. So my answer to not stopping was doing cheerleading in college.
Uh, it's difficult when, especially during uh, basketball season, when there's a lot more games happening that we have to cheer. And then if we go to nationals with practices, uh, being able to balance out those because we were having around 3 hour practices a couple days a week. So that eats into time. And then if we have a game we have to be at. So it's just managing good time management. It's pretty difficult trying to balance both, but you learn to adjust, especially if you have a game coming up. You prioritize a little better. Honestly, the people I have met from my freshman year to senior year, I met a lot of good guys and girls. Really fun atmosphere to be around. Makes college a little more enjoyable, and it especially made adjusting to college life a little easier. The competitiveness, like just being an athlete, coming to practice, being a part of a team, working hard. It's just really cool. Just the people, just can't emphasize enough the people you get to meet.
During practices, games, and events, there is one tool that can be found at all 3. I'm going to research the cheerleading megaphone. While researching the megaphone, I found that its use in cheerleading dates back as far as 1898 at the University of Minnesota. During my study of the Ball State University cheer team, I discovered that it is only the men among the cheer teams that use megaphones. The reason behind this is that men often have a deeper, more powerful voice than ladies, which makes shouting through the megaphone more effective for them. The megaphone is a status symbol that the team is there and has an important job to do. During sporting events, you can see the megaphone put into action by the cheerleaders along the sideline. Its purpose is to get the crowd involved in the game through cheers and motions for a livelier atmosphere during events. The stereotypes at hand when I began my research process were that cheerleaders are not hardworking, are not as intelligent as others, and that cheerleaders are stuck up. Through the research collected and presented, I believe my original goal of disproving these derogative stereotypes to be a successful one.